Okay, we're back. In Tyrone, County Tyrone. Well, it's actually not actually County Tyrone. It's Ulster basically, but they're calling it Tyrone, which is wonderful for us. Turn my view back on. Things haven't really changed. We're living a perilous existence here. We have Connacht and Meath and Leinster now make up England, which is rather worrying. If I was Munster, who don't like us for some reason, but if I was them, I'd be a bit worried. Who have we got sitting off there? That's the Munster fleet, is it? Okay, so we've disputed a succession in, funny enough, Munster. If I could actually... no diplomats to send, has no possible neighbouring province to fabricate a claim on, so we're not neighbouring to it, that would have been a problem. We can't get in there. Scotland. Munster would have been a good one as well. Oh, well, okay. So we can't do anything like that. National decision. Now, we had the chance to declare a statute in the Strait of Appeals, which was officially demote the Pope and instead raise the King to be the final legal authority in all matters of religion. I wouldn't normally do this, but since this game isn't going to go on for much longer, we're going to get conquered and then get taken out, etc. I'm going to do it. Okay. We're not going to do anything with our advisor at the moment. Again, we're trying to build up our money. Which is sitting at 0.94 a month. We're just... we don't really have any expenses apart from the bare minimum of army and fleet. But even at that, we can't make any money. And it's a problem. I'm just kind of treading water as we go. So, we're going to go. We're going to turn down the speed a little bit. And we'll probably play through this this episode here. I will invest on our Cardinal. 45's the lead. I mean, we're keeping on ticking over in that. We're never going to catch up, I don't think, but we'll just keep going. There'll probably be not enough that happens in this episode because, like I say, our options are limited in what we do. We can't invade anybody. If it all goes to hell, I'll show you what happens when we do invade somebody, which could be rather interesting. We could have attacked it, that trade ship or whatever, but we're not. Supply ships, go on the Ulster, okay. I don't know why we're still called Throne. We're definitely our Ulster at the moment now. Oh well. We could recruit some army. Again, men at arms is 9.5. Our Latin Knights. It seems to me that our best thing to do would be get a mortar. We'll order a mortar in because we've got a strong general in fire. If we can make some headway in fire, then that would help us out certainly. We'll get 2 regiments of men at arms and we'll see. We'll start building our fleet up, if you know what I mean, just in case I get attacked so we don't just totally roll over. That would be unfortunate. Discovery spread. Discoveries of Green Coast, Gold Coast and West Guinea Basin are open to us. So that's over here somewhere probably. Or, no, sorry, down there, isn't it? So the world has been discovered here. That's all well and good. That's all going on in the rest of the world. Aragon, Castile look much the same. Yeah, not much changing over here. We've got a war? No, we haven't. So yeah, nothing much happening here. Our relationships with Scotland is tremendous. Our relationship with England is terrible. But we're keeping on improving our relationship. We can't do any kind of alliance because, of course, they think we're becking idiots. Currently minus 92. So I have a new thing. You've probably seen it up here. There, we have an invest in a new idea. Okay, so when our aristocratic ideas bar fills up, when we get 400 military power, we can spend that on an aristocratic idea. Okay, so we can get noble knights, and we would work our way through this idea right here the whole way along. And this one, supporting cavalry, requires an economic system that produces a large number of surplus horses. If we were to guarantee the privileges of our noble class, not only would they be much happier, they would do much of the work to produce the needed horses. Our court fool described it as service guarantee serfs. So our cavalry costs would go down by 20%. That would cost us 400 military power. However, we also use a military power for these things here, and we will take it away from this. So I've got a decision to make whether we want to invest in our idea, which I have to say wasn't actually my choice for the aristocratic ideas. You'd think that'd be easier to say. It's not exactly my idea to invest in this one, especially the naval one. I don't like naval warfare either, but that's by the by. What will be next? What will we work on next? Local nobility, where we will get hostile court creation costing us 1 serfdom, noble officers, international nobility, and military traditions. So our technology costs will go down ultimately. Or pike and shock, so our manpower will increase by 500 and our local defensiveness will go up by 200%. That sounds like something I'd be best investing in at this time, doesn't it? I mean, the manpower is what it is, but if I could so the arquebus was easy to use as a weapon, but was also inaccurate and slow to fire, leaving its user vulnerable to cavalry charges. Blending with pikemen allowed arquebusiers to fire and then fall back to be shielded by pikemen when enemy cavalry or infantry appeared. You don't have enough military power, so need 585. We kind of could do that. It's not going to happen. Let's get the aristocratic idea. So an idea in group aristocratic ideas, noble knights. Supporting cavalry requires an economic system. So bonus effect is our cavalry cost is down 20%. So if we want to invest in some units, say, the cost for our knights has went down by 20% now. So we could afford to get those as well and build up our armies. But we'll just roll with it for the moment. I think in the long term that probably isn't a bad idea, because if we're going to build up an army at all, I mean, we're not going to be able to stand in the way of the English, but we have a decent fleet of 6 ships. They're only cogs, which are very low level ones. We've got the Cookstown and the Yucca in one. And the Fergal, the Strabane, the Oma, and the Swibney, whatever they are barks. Where it's light ships with cannons. 10 speed, 8 hull size, 3 trade power, and maintenance is that per month. Oh, this is very exciting. But we are making money. This is not bad. It's going to go negative in a minute. But what can we do? We're up to 6 troops. I would really like to invade something. If Scotland would go to war with England, that would be absolutely our best. The best thing could happen to us at the moment. I mean, we would have been invaded already if it wasn't for our alliances that were made. Almost certainly. So, we're just kind of waiting on something to happen. I did explain that nothing much likely happened because... Oh, so Poland's now the papal controller because they command the loyalty of enough cardinals. A black day for the church, apparently. And because of that ruling that I passed, our people influence way down. We'll not gain very much people influence at all over the next kind of months, years, etc. Yeah, military power's going up. The administrative power's going up a wee bit. That'll probably be the first thing that we can invest in. So we'll get soon we'll get workshop and courthouse. I'll explain what happens when we get that, unless something unforeseen happens, a random event. So build a great palace. Monarchs were often struggling with ways to subdue the nobility. The rise of firearms reduced the nobles' role as warriors, but left them with, in the eyes of the monarchs, too much idle time. Some monarchs created new palaces with elaborate court rituals to dazzle the nobles and keep them occupied. Versailles is the greatest expression of this movement. So, if we build a palace, we get prestige, we gain 20 legitimacy, but lose 6.25 ducats. If we don't build it, we'll just lose prestige. I think it's worth spending the money. So that was a good thing. Oh dear. My king, we have ill news indeed. General... him is dead. He served us faithfully and well, but only the finest funeral will do for such a colossus of combat. He dead, fuck all. I ain't gonna put that out there. I could hire a new general. So it'll cost us 50 military power, which we're nowhere near spending anyway. And it doesn't cost us anything to upkeep him, so let's buy one. This guy's better at maneuver. The maneuver value increases the movement speed of units controlled by the units. It also increases the trade power when in a trade mission and lowers attrition. So attrition is the amount that it falls off over time. So if units are in battle for a long time and they're just kind of stuck doing nothing, then oh dear. I'll finish my point about attrition first. If they're just left out in battle and they're still at a state of readiness for battle, if they're just stuck without, you know, in wilderness without camping or anything anywhere, they will lose units over time. Just it's called attrition. It'll eat away at their number of units over time, and that'll be sad. So, Herald from England, my king, we were sad to discover that England has revoked their guarantee. Well, I don't need their help anyway. Bastards. We're playing still plus 70 of ours, but oh well. So they're gonna. There is a comment for us. Oh, there's the Scots, sir. Patrolling. Can they come to our aid? There you go, it's happened. So war. My king, the rotten swine in England declared war upon us. Prepare for battle. They cite conquest, so they're just going to conquer us. We didn't form an alliance with England. We didn't gain the 10 prestige or gain the 25 diplomatic power. Scotland, they inform us that because of their superior might and military expertise, they have assumed leadership in the war against England. From now on, they will handle all negotiations. So, what has actually happened here is England have decided to invade us, but because we formed an alliance with Scotland, and they're bigger and more powerful than us, they are going to come to war with us. And if we want to sue for peace, then we will have to let them do it for us because they're the bigger power. So they'll be the war score. Now, there's a couple of things happens. Low maintenance, I will have to increase this. So our armies will have to go up. We'll start losing money every month. Nothing we can do about that. We need these troops to be maintained. So if I don't maintain them and increase their maintenance up to the highest level every month, then their morale will be low. And when they come to fight, they will be pissed off and they will get overthrown quite easily. If they've got high maintenance, the morale will be good, and away they go. Same with the fleets. So that's the first thing we do. Okay. Countries at war. Right click to submit or shift click to disable. Free military advisor. We have no mission. So I can improve our prestige, have our prestige of at least 50. Look at our prestige, it's 23 at the moment. That is possible. So France's opinion of Tyrone is at least 125. So I can do that as well, probably if I improve relations. So if I take, I've got Grella or Crocken. Both of those are doable, but I'm going to do the rival of a threat. So if we can gain alliances with Scotland and France, we actually mightn't be badly off here. There's not an awful lot we can do. So my king, in an effort to advance their own interests, France is requesting help and exchange for subsidies. We will receive 1.04 each month for a duration of 20 years. So we lost our first battle. The Battle of Ulster was lost. The siege on our planets, our land, which isn't good. So I'm going to slow this right down to show you what happens in this whole thing. We lost the score. We had, that was them. They brought 11,000 men. They only lost 144. They kept all their cavalry and their guns. We lost 4,000 men and 2,000 guns. We were wiped out very quickly by sheer numbers. They were led by Archibald Saunders, and we were nobodies. In an effort to advance our own interests, France has requested our help in exchange for subsidies we will receive. Right, okay. Oh, I see what's happening here. They're being invaded by Austria. Well, I can do that because this fleet is doing absolutely nothing for me. I can send them down there. And we'll get money off them each month. So actually, I'll actually go through what's actually happening here at the moment. We are paused. So England conquered us in that battle for Ulster, and you'll see here they will try and siege our territories, and by sieging our territories they will gain control over it. So they show this picture of the castle walls, and we have 2,000 defenders in this area. We have a war exhaustion score, and our prestige is busting up, but it's going to go down by 0.6 every month. Our fort level is 2, and we are up against 5,000 troops. They're looking good at the moment. Morale is good, so they're trying to siege us and basically, you know, starve us out to the point where we concede our lands and they take control of it. However, at the same time, the Scots are sieging Northumberland with their 9,000 men to the 2,000. They actually can hold out for a while because their luck, etc. is up. Their luck's in, bastards, and their prestige is quite high. So there's double fronted war going on here, which is interesting. So the minus 63%, once that gets into counts up plus, we've got a war here. So the Scottish are going to lose this battle. The Battle of the Channel, we won. Yay, we won a battle! Yay! Who did we fight? Munster? Oh, brilliant. We took you out. So the attackers' morale is dwindling in the siege of Northumberland. Not going well for them, as it turns out. So each time a siege phase begins, a die 1 to 14 is rolled. That roll is then added together with the siege modifiers, which is -1. The results: if you score 5 to 11, you've got a 50% chance of a supply shortage, 14% chance of food shortage, slight chance of water shortage, etc., etc. That'll go. Oh, they managed to scare them off, so they're actually doing all right there. We're holding out a bit. So battle in Straits of Dover, we're going to be wiped out here by the English. We lost our ships, basically. So we're gone, we're wiped with no military forces, with nothing. All we've got is the siege of Northumberland. Now, to keep track of everything that's going on, there's this button down here beside the papacy thing. And it keeps a track of the conquest. So not only, it turns out, England and Munster are trying to take us along, and these are all, you know, so they're trying to take us. They've got a blockade as of 22% complete. Once that goes up, what happens is this war score ticks up. Okay, and it lists all the battles that are going on at the moment. So we've got a Battle of Dogger Bank between Austria and England. We've got Northumberland, which is the Scots against the English. We have the Straits of Dover. Is that us? That was us with 7 ships. That one was lost. That's right. So this shows you the history of the battles, and the war scores are 2%. The higher it is, the more you can demand in subsidies to end the war. So whatever your war goal is, it might be to take Ulster, for instance. Oh, who joined the war there? Munster joined England in the war, so they joined it. What turncoats, bastards! So low maintenance. So we'll probably find our money's sitting great. See, we're making a fortune. We ain't got no army to keep up. We ain't got no fleet to keep up. So we're making money hand over fist now. Except our country's been conquered. The Scots are coming though. The Scots are coming. Oh jeez, there's 38 ships just left England. Probably full of troops. That's good. The Scots are quite powerful. That's quite interesting. This stage they probably will take Northumberland here. And what will actually be the upshot of this is that they will probably, we'll lose Ulster, but England will also lose territory in this war. Scotland will gain. We'll obviously, you know, cease to exist anymore. Or we will be a little principality of the mighty England. Boo. And that's what happened. But so that's why Scotland would have joined this war. They knew that England want to take out Ulster and own that province, but they could maybe gain some from it as well, because England were distracting 2 sides war. And remember this when we come to play our main game: if you attack on one end, if people's alliances hold up on the other end, then they can use the fact that you are an invader or otherwise to their advantage. Now you can see our morale is dropping way low. We've got a water shortage in the province, etc. Northumberland's not that far from falling either. In fact, it's further along. It's plus 14%, whereas Ulster's minus 14%. There is a chance that they could negotiate a peace with us, whereby they just save Ulster. But then it would just be a matter of time before we'll fall. I mean, we haven't got any army. We've got a bit of money. I mean, but we're totally defenseless. Munster could come and take us, for Christ's sake. Let's see. While we're doing this, I may as well improve relations with France. So we could achieve that little goal that we had beforehand. Your ports are blockaded. That's fine because we haven't got any. Countries at war. Sad story. It's minus 3% war score, so it's actually going back and forth a bit because of the advances that Scotland are making. Quite interesting, I must say. Northumberland has a water shortage, yeah, so their resistance is starting to fall. There's a food shortage there. There's these 20 troops that are going to come into Northumberland, I think, and take it back. Or 20 regiments, should I say. Defenders have deserted from Ulster, and this is about to turn very quickly into an English province, or when the war goal will turn up. So it's bouncing back and forward. It's actually slightly in our favour because of Scotland's intervening. Plus all this nonsense that's going on in France. I mean, we've got France and Austria's trying to take France, and siege of Calais. Yeah. Oh, it's actually England's thing that's fallen there. Ah, interesting. So it's Austria that've come in on that side. There you go. So the striped land actually shows that Scotland occupy that now. So striped. So that would then become Scottish land. For instance, they are now trying to take on Yorkshire, and they're going to move their way down the map. And if there's nobody to defend, then they will continue going and going. So you'll see the same thing. This siege score will go down. It's minus 42 at the moment, but it will go up. Ulster, there's very little resistance left at Ulster. I'm proud of how we've done. You can see the pictures change to the things on fire. Oh god, it's terrible. What's happening? Ports are blockaded, I know that. With a free advisor slot, that would be good. Maybe we get an army modifier for our no troops. So those troops have disappeared in England. They're not seeming to be... Right, there it is. We have lost the siege of Ulster. The siege lasted 321 days before the garrison finally succumbed to hunger and disease. England now controls the province. The garrison were allowed to march out, keeping their flags and arms. So we went striped now, which isn't great. But Scotland are still attacking. Now they'll probably get their forces back together, come over and try and take out the Scots. Here we go. They're trying to get everything together. There's a battle. It's not going so well for the Scots now. So the English got their troops together. And for it, they're fighting well. It's one of those things that there are lots of things that determine what way the battle goes. It's those phases of fire, shock, and manoeuvre. The Scottish have retreated. They will be low morale, no doubt. And the English are going to chase them to try and take them down, like here in this fight. So it looks like the Scots are going to win that one. England will try and take back here. So Clemens VII is the new Pope. Brilliant. Yeah, so Scotland are now losing their own land. The English are too great. They've wiped out all the Scottish troops. So they might actually, the English, because of their large numbers, they might end up getting Scotland and Ulster, which obviously is a big win for them. We're about to get an administrative upgrade, which is fantastic. Oh dear. Did it say it was difficult? There's one garrison of troops. Who have we got in to help support? We've got the Teutonic Fleet. So they're setting about taking down all these provinces. I'm just going to speed this up because this was somewhat inevitable. So, my lord, one of your advisors has urged selling off titles of nobility to anybody who can afford to pay. It would bring in lots of money if we do, but it would devalue the idea of nobility and perhaps upset the existing aristocratic families. Should we do this so I can gain 4.36 ducats or gain 1 stability? Stability is much more important because we get better trade power, better spy defense, less risk going together. There's greater missionary strength. You know, there's an awful lot of benefits to that. Poor Scotland. Look, it's getting ravaged. They don't care about us anymore. They've got a bigger prize. And again, another tactic that you can use. You could attack a smaller province as allied to a bigger province. Attack the smaller province. And then come back and take back the other one. Just to engage people in a war. Because while they would get harmful penalties against Ulster, they mightn't against Scotland, because Scotland joined the war against them. That wasn't their war to join, so they don't get penalised as much. Okay, so there's things happening. Let's see. So our emphasis on a strong aristocracy has given the nobility means to serve in the army. They are devoting more of their attention to military. One has published a treatise on military thought, so we gain military power of 50, and we have enough money or enough to invest in a new technology, and it's in this case is workshop and courthouse. So I'm going to spend that, and we will see. The problem with hereditary local nobility is that they tend to value their local interests over those of the rest of the nation. We need to steadily expand the reach of the government, which begins with 2 of the most important areas: administration, justice and taxation. We can now build the courthouse or now build a workshop. So those are 2 key things to unlock. We go in. It's starting to research the scythe, which I don't know what it is at the moment. But with a national decision available. So with 2, we can pass the Act of Uniformity. So our administrative technology is at least 8, which gains us missionary strength. So that's great. We'll go for that. And then pass the Suffrage and Bishop Act. So improve administration by authorising suffrage and bishops to be appointed for episcopal responsibilities, whatever that means. And what do we get for that? We get a stability cost modifier and a national tax modifier. May as well go for it. I mean, there's nothing else happening in the world for us. Our war exhaustion is high. So I could spend diplomatic power to reduce that. Kind of not a problem if you want our good stability. We have rebels in the county. We could handle them, but with no troops, so we just have to continue it. And we'll watch the end of the Scotland as we know it. So the electors have elected Ferdinand I of Austria as the new emperor of the Holy Roman Empire. The new lawful sovereign of the Holy Roman Empire has promised to protect the rights of the states as emperor. And away they go. So England have taken Aberdeen. They've taken Fife. They'll soon be taking others as well, but looks things they've managed to get Northumberland back. They've got Ulster. They've taken us out. War score is heavily in England's favour. Scotland's no troops really apart from these 5 regiments here. And it'll not be long before this war is settled. And we can move on to our next playthrough. So this... My king! Scotland accepted peace with their former enemies England on the following terms. Scotland will cede Aberdeen to England. Scotland will also pay 46 ducats. The peace will cost England 45 diplomatic power, and with no casus belli, or no real reason, England gains 2 prestige and suffers 15.0 aggressive expansion penalties, gains inflation from the ducats taken in the peace. So, when this unpauses, the war will end. We're occupied by England, so we kind of can't do anything, and that's pretty much the end of the game for us, so to speak, which is a sad story. Right, before we finish, thoughts of disapproval against the Roman Catholic Church is spreading across Europe as a result of the increasing corruption of monks and clerics. Voices are raised questioning the current principles and grid of the Church. A monk in East Frisia has for some time expressed deep concerns and is now openly declaring his discontent with the Church, paving the way towards a reformation of the faith. So this was obviously the Lutheran bit. So our war score is down. It's so sad. They organised a truce. Actually, can I was going to say that I can't close this war, can I? England diplomacy. Sue for peace. But no diplomats to send, so we can recall our Scottish dude. Kind of gives you separate peace to somebody else as the target of our war going. So we just have to wait this one out until whatever other war they're in goes ahead. So it's not completely over yet, but it may as well be. How's our relations with France? Well, they're going up and up and up. That is going fantastically well. Our prestige is going up. Our free trade policies are forcing our merchants to become more innovative. One in particular looks like you become a great man. We gain a trader. So that's one of these dudes up here, isn't it? Yeah, so we're about to gain France's opinion of 125, isn't that what we need? And we got our 5 prestige and 25 diplomatic power, which is great. So we need a new mission. We've stopped trying to improve relations with France because they reached the maximum amount. That's great with a free diplomat. We can create a proper fleet, but that's not going to happen. Create an army. Total army that needs 75% of the force limit. No. Have a prestige of at least 50. That's got to be the next one. We'll recall the diplomat. So with two dudes kind of doing nothing. With Austria, let's improve relations with them for one. Oh, there's where the action's going on. Aragon are in the war and they're trying to take down Munster, which I'm sure England don't care about, but see, Munster's sided with England to save their own backsides, and it hasn't really worked out for them. What does that tell you about Munster, man? Heh? Heh? Better the devil, you know. So this war's still going on in the background, and eventually we will lose Ulster as a province. I mean, we can't even build a troop to defend ourselves. I couldn't even hire a mercenary if I wanted to try and take it back. We'll just let this play out. But this has been the end of Ulster. So when we start up next, I'll start up a proper game, and we'll pick something, pick a country where we can achieve something, or you'll be able to see kind of overarching goals. Maybe if not out of the world or not. We're not totally befuddled by what happens in real life. So it actually teaches you a bit about what happened in the world during this period as well, which is also very good. Quite educational, but interesting education of history. By King, in an effort to advance their own interests, France has requested our help in exchange for subsidies. Well, that would be fantastic. That must be the game's way of giving you a helping hand. I mean, what the French would want with us is beyond me. Our prestige is going down yearly. That's not great, but we'll keep her at it. Oh, we can invest in a new idea. Local nobility. So what is local nobility? King, our Irish days have evolved and granted us access to more than Irish. Hardly did the Norman invaders embrace the Irish traditions. So this was the idea, the more than Irish, where people, national revolt risk goes down, which is fantastic. Oh, local nobility. The nobility know they are better in fact, so oh, we've already read that one as well. That's okay. So I can lose one stability or the ducats. I'm going to take the ducats, but what is it? Sometimes a scandal would erupt in the royal court and would upset a monarch to the point where things end. Right, we've got a stability drop anyway because we're losing. We've got a new king though, and he's useless. His tutors could not make a great man of him, though we hope ruling our nation, great nation will. Our nation is mourning over the death of our last king. Oh dear. How's the money situation? 0.43. Beautiful. What have we got? Royal marriage offer from Scotland. Let's accept it because we may as well take a sinking ship with us. The English are still invading. The war score is getting to the point where England... Ah, that's interesting. So England's enthusiasm is low. And everybody else, you know, some of those ones are medium. So if it's Austria, Aragon, Lithuania, Poland, the Teutonic Order, and us, I mean, we're out. We're out of here. I can invest in new technology. The trade depot and dry dock. So we can now build dry dock and trade depot. Our trade depots will offer central locations for trade goods to be accumulated and distributed from the higher trade efficiency. Dry docks will also allow us to maintain a fleet able to. And there's the end of the game. So, due to lack of anything of note, Nal is known throughout history as Nal the Boring. That was nice. So the reign of Donal. He learned to be remembered for his drunkenness. We had the 206th largest army, 91st largest navy, with a total score of 0. They did say it was going to be hard. Historical scores, France, etc. way up there. We're right in the bottom. And that's the end of our game. So I hope you enjoyed this introduction. Come back and join us next time for a playthrough with a bit more action in it. Okay, see you then. See you later. Bye.